Hi my loves, welcome back to another tutorial. In today's tutorial we'll be learning how to make this beautiful double crochet basic stitch. I'll be using yay yarn, 2 strands of it, and my 4.0mm hook. As always, you could use whatever yarn and hook that matches your project or the project you want to use this stitch for. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So to make a double crochet, you would start with a slip knot like you would any project, any stitch, and I would just chain a couple of chains because this is a swatch to show you guys how to make the stitch. So let's say I chain 15. So to make a double crochet after having your base chain, you want to chain 3 extra. So you use your hand to block off this last chain and chain 3 more chains. Then, like you know, I like to work in the back bump. So ignoring these 3 chains, I would yarn over, turn my chains so I can see the back bump, and in the back bump of the 4th chain I will insert my hook this way, pull through. I would have 3 loops on my hook. I would yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. So I pulled through twice, and I'm emphasizing this because if you've watched my half double crochet tutorial, you will know that we yarn over, insert our hook, and we would have 3 on our hook just like we did in this double crochet, but then we would pull through all the 3 loops at once. But for the double crochet, you would yarn over, you would pull through 2 loops, you would yarn over, you pull through the second 2 loops, and you could see the 3 extra chain we made now makes this project have some standing point. So that's why you make extra chains even after you get the amount of chains you want, because this now helps the project stand. You could see 1 2 3, and then this is the first stitch, this is the second stitch. So you keep making the double crochet stitch in the back bump. However, you could make it in these V's like this, but I realized, or I figured, when you make it in the back bump, you have the same set of V's at the bottom even as you would at the top, and this is very helpful if you're coming back around to work stitches at the bottom. But all that is advanced talk. For now, let's just learn how to make the double crochet stitch. You just keep doing it carefully, yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 3 loops on your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. I will do this till the very last chain, making sure I don't miss any chain. And once I'm done with that, I would show you guys how I get to a new row in the double crochet stitch. You keep making double crochet in every chain till you get to the last one, which is technically the first one you made. So guys, I'm back to the very last chain. I will just yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, pull through 2, pull through 2. And once we are done with the very first row, how we get to the next row, that is row 2 or subsequent rows, we will chain 2. Then you would turn your work and you would make a double crochet in the very first double crochet, just like you did in the chains. You yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. However, here's something. Some people like this double crochet to count as a stitch. So if you want your double crochet to count as a stitch, this is how it works, and I'll just undo this to tell you guys. You see, when I made these 2 chains, I still made a double crochet here. That's because I don't want my chains to count as a stitch. So I would make a double crochet in every row till the last. The last would be the 3rd chain of the chain 3. However, if you want your double crochet to count as a stitch, then you don't chain 2. you instead chain 3, because this is the height of a double crochet stitch, and then you turn and you make your first double crochet in the second stitch. Someone will say, why now? That's because this chain 3 is a double crochet, is standing as a double crochet. So if it's standing as a double crochet, there's no need to make a double crochet in the first stitch, because this chain 3 represents the first double crochet in round 2. And then if you're going this way, you will make a double crochet in every stitch till the very end, making your last double crochet in the third chain. Remember, we chain 3 at the end of the chain round to just be able to make our work stand properly. So that is your last stitch on this round. I hope this makes sense. If it's confusing, please ask questions in the comment section below. I would keep making double crochet, that is yarn over, insert my hook, pull through 2, pull through 2 in every stitch, and I will show you guys how I maneuver it when I get to the last stitch. So guys, this is the last actual double crochet I did. So I've made a double crochet on that. But if you see, if you lay your work out like this would be like not straight. There's still like a curve here. That's because you're ignoring this stitch. What you want to do is yarn over, insert your hook at the top of the chain 3 you did, that's the third chain, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you would have something like this. So working now, moving forward for round 3, 4, 5 and consequent rows, since you're using the method that your chain 3 counts as a stitch, you would want to chain 3 to move to next round. But if your chain 3 does not count as a stitch, you want to chain 2, okay? And since your chain 3 counts as a stitch, when you turn back, you wouldn't work a double crochet in this very first point. No, you would yarn over and work in the second point, because this chain 3 is the first stitch of this round. You also want to keep track of the number of stitches in every round, making sure you're not increasing, that is adding any stitch, or decreasing, that is removing any stitch by mistake. And we would work double crochet stitches till we get to the very end, which is this point, and I'll show you guys for the last time what you do when you get here. So guys, I'm almost at the end, and I just made last double crochet in the double crochet stitch before the chain 3, and because this chain 3 counts as a stitch, you would make your very last double crochet at the top of the chain 3. Now note, if it did not count as a stitch, you wouldn't have skipped the space here to make a double crochet. So you would have just made 2 chains, 1 double crochet here. But because it counts as a stitch, you can't omit it now that you're coming back around. Meaning when we come back around to this point, we would make 1 double crochet here, and the last double crochet will be at the top of the chain 3. So you always want to make sure your last double crochet is at the top of the chain 3 if you're allowing chain 3 count as a stitch, if you're allowing it count as a double crochet. Once again, I hope that is not confusing. But if it does not count as a double crochet, meaning you wouldn't have skipped 1 stitch in between, and then there will be no need to put a double crochet on chain 2. Is that clear? If it's not, if you have any trouble understanding, please ask questions in the comment section below. I also want you guys to observe that since I'm skipping 1, the disadvantage of making chain 3 count as a stitch is that there will be this inside tiny gap where you would have put your stitch. In the grand scheme of things, it does not matter as much, but if you don't like that, then you probably should not do chain 3 should count as a stitch. You probably should do chain 2 at the end of every round, turn your work, and work a double crochet in every stitch as should be. But if you're letting chain 3 count as a stitch, then you would have to skip the first stitch, and you might have these gaps. You see them here and here. I would work more rows and come back and show you guys what I've got, so it would make more sense to you guys. And yeah, I'll do that off camera and come back and show you guys. So guys, I am almost at the end of the final row I want to do for this, and I just made my last stitch on top the chain 3, chain 1, and this is what we have. I know it might not look the most ideal double crochet method, but I wanted really to clarify why you might have gaps in your double crochet stitches while some people don't. This is the difference. So if you want me to show how to make the double crochet stitches without gaps, I think I must have given most of that away in this tutorial. But if you want to see that, tell me and I will make one for you, definitely. So I made 2, 4, 6, 7 rows of double crochet stitch, and that's my favorite thing about this stitch, the build up. You see, I've just made 7 rows and we have almost a perfect square, right? But if it's a single crochet stitch, for instance, this must have taken me 20 rows, and if it's a half double crochet, it must have taken me at least 9-10 rows. So this stitch builds up easily, it works up easily. You don't have to do as many rows to get the length you want in most cases, and that's why it's one of the most commonly used stitch. However, the disadvantage is it's more see-through than the other basic stitches. Apart from the holes we have going on, even the stitch itself, you could see from here through my background, but in other stitch you might not have that, or not as much as you do in the double crochet stitch. And yeah, that's the major disadvantage of this stitch. But if you like breathable stitches, if you like stitches that work up easily, the double crochet stitch is the stitch for you. I'm building up a stitch gallery, a stitch playlist, and I'll leave that linked in this description and also add it to the end screen. You should check that out if you want to improve your stitches. And with that, that's the end of this particular tutorial. If you gained any knowledge from this, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you for watching, my loves. See you in my next one. Bye.